This question also into studio. Celine, the biggest question is, of course, is this all a matter of politics? As we heard, the politicians abroad do want to see an end to the firing because it serves their interest well, but no one really is pushing for a two-state solution, not from the outside, and definitely, one will say, not from the current Israeli government. Maybe we do hear voices from the opposition, but that those are quieter voices.
I think the two-state solution is still the only game in town. There is no alternative.
But nobody wants to speak about it now.
Nobody wants to speak about it now because now we focus on restoring quiet in Gaza, and that should be the priority. But once we do that, we should look, as Colette rightly said so, to the condition to create for a more sustainable ceasefire in Gaza. And that includes reinforcing the Palestinian Authority stature and Mahmoud Abbas in Gaza, based on the arrangement between Hamas and Fatah, the Shati Reconciliation Agreement, the government of consensus that has been established on June 2nd. And I think this is the base to create, to reinforce the two-state solution under the leadership of the Palestinian Authority, and to enable him to generate positive incentive to the Gaza population. And I think this should be the base for a more moderate voice in Gaza that will support stability, and it will further diminish the legitimacy of players like Hamas to turn to violence.
Is public opinion even ready to hear about a two-state solution at a time when rockets are being fired upon the south?
I think Israel leadership has to lead the Israeli public opinion and not the other way around. And I think Israeli government should be challenged by a very contradictory policy right now. On the one hand, it wants an address in Gaza that will take in charge the situation there and will be capable to impose a ceasefire on the other faction. On the other side, it doesn't want the PA to come back to Gaza, and it wants to weaken the Hamas further. So all these objectives are self-contradictory and are dangerous in a way that they may create a Somalicization of Gaza, where nobody is in charge and the moderates are weak, and only the very extreme faction that are more extreme to Hamas even will run the show and will continue, as we see now, and not to respect a ceasefire and to bring us back to violence.
Celine, of course, I want to pose the same question I did to Colette from a policy think tank kind of perspective. How much does public opinion influence governments? And in days of social media and so forth, can we see any kind of effect even more so influencing governments? Or is there still this very big disconnect between what the people think and, of course, what the government acts?
I don't think there is a big disconnect. The people in the south want quiet, and this is the main objective of this operation. And I mean, part of the ceasefire is to do just that. So I don't see the big disconnect. I don't think that the population of southern Israel is so eager to see a ground operation whose objective will be very problematic, because if it's about reoccupying Gaza, bringing down Hamas, this has very long-term consequence for Israel. Do we want really to pay the bill of administrating the Gaza population? I don't think that this is what the people have in mind. So I think
perhaps the people don't know that it's what's going to happen. They're more fueled now by the fear of, these are rocket attacks, and now we have to go and combat these threats, and they're not thinking long-term, such as you are.
So that's why I said before that I think this is the job of the Israeli government, to explain that to the population and to lead them and to reassure them.
And so if that is a government